Hey everyone, welcome to This Week in Rewards for April 13th through to the 19th, 2024, right here on Rewards Canada. This is your weekly dose of loyalty rewards, travel, and credit card happenings in our great nation. I hope you've all had a great week since our last episode. I know mine's been pretty good. It's been quite a hectic week actually for the site and things happening in loyalty and credit cards. And as always, before we jump into things, be sure to hit the like button if you like today's content, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so that you're notified every time we post new videos. As I said, there's quite a bit, so be sure to grab yourself a drink or a snack or both, because I'm not sure how long this episode will actually end up lasting, but there's quite a bit to cover. And as always, we'll start off with credit card news. So the first thing we had this week is a new loyalty lesson, one that we put together thanks to the help of the Rewards Canada community. And that loyalty lesson is why credit card reward charts rarely provide a good value for economy class flights to Europe. Now, this is something I've kind of talked about for many years on end, but never really put it all together into one feature. So that's what we've done now, because I'm getting questions. Basically, it's like, why do I end up having to pay $800, $900, $1,000 on top of my tens of thousands of points when I redeem my credit card points for a flight to Europe? So, I mean, like, that's a question I get at least probably 2 or 3 times a month, if not more, primarily from those people who have RBC Avion Rewards, but also to some extent CIBC Aventura and even Amex's membership rewards, because they all have fixed points for travel programs, or fixed points for flights. I shouldn't say fixed points for travel. That's something we just talked about in a couple episodes ago, how there's a difference between them. There's any travel anytime, and then there's these fixed reward charts, which are just for flights. And yeah, so this is what, credit cards holders reach out to me saying, I wanted to book a flight to Europe, and it's like $1,000 in fees on top of my 60,000 points, 65,000 or whatever, depending on the chart. And yeah, so this has kind of it's been around for quite a while, but people are unaware of it because there isn't, it's not really well known in terms of, the credit card issuers don't tell you this. There's, if you look at their charts, reward charts, they're just at in the bottom corner, there might be a little asterisk saying maximum ticket value of this amount. And then they go in further detail, if you look in the terms and conditions, that it only covers the base fare. They don't really tell you that. So somebody will see, oh, wow, my credit card will cover $1,300 of a flight to Europe. And so they'll see that, maybe they're booking a flight that's only $1,200. And they're like, why are my 65,000 points only covering $300 of the flight? I still have to pay $900 in fees. So these are just random, I'm just picking out random numbers, but I'm just kind of giving examples of the questions we get. And so we tackle this subject and answer this question in the loyalty lesson. We give examples of, how the reward chart works. We give examples of just how the fees are broken down, because that's what it comes down to. Basically, it comes down to, I didn't explain this, I should explain why that is. And that is because on flights to Europe, the base fare is always really low, and then there's big carrier surcharges tacked on, and then you still have your standard taxes and fees that are charged on all tickets on top of that. Now here's the thing, flights all around the world, tickets have surcharges, fees, and taxes. But for some reason, well, actually I know the reason, but for flights between Canada and Europe are disproportionate. The base fares are always really low with a lot higher surcharges. It's different if you're booking to Asia, to Australia. There's still relatively big surcharges, but not disproportionate like they are for Europe. And now this all kind of stemmed from a long time ago with people adding fuel surcharges in terms of the airlines adding. But the base fares kept dropping and dropping when a lot of the low-cost carriers flying across the Atlantic started flying, to Canada and the US. So there's all these different airlines that came in and that were lowballing their price, and then they had all the add-ons for luggage and all this type of stuff. And so the big airlines, to match it, brought their base fares down. Of course, now you have to lump all your pricing together, so you don't really see that breakdown, but they've kept the pricing structure that was from before, where it was a low base fare to compete with the low-cost carriers. And so that's why that's really the case, because there isn't really, the low-cost competition across the Pacific. It's all across transatlantic. Yeah, there are some low-cost carriers across the Pacific, like Zip Air just started flying between Tokyo and Vancouver, but it's few and far between. It's nothing like the European market. So that's why it's kind of unique, and that's why we have this issue of credit card reward charts not providing great value for flights to Europe, because that low base fare, and that's the rules of the credit card reward charts, is that they're points that you have to redeem, whether it's 50 to 70,000 for CIBC Aventura, RBC's 65,000 for RBC, and 60,000 for American Express. you have to redeem that amount no matter what, whether the ticket is a $45 base fare, which I've seen. I saw a British Airways flight to the UK for $45, but then all the taxes and fees on top of that, or if it's a $500 base fare, you're going to be redeeming that amount of points. So redeeming 65,000 points for $45, absolutely terrible value. So those are just some examples. And yeah, so they're advertising these charts as maximum ticket value of $900, that's Amex, or $1,300 for RBC or CIBC. But the maximum ticket base fares rarely reach that amount unless you are flying on a last minute super expensive fare. And so you'll get more value for your points, but you're still gonna be paying those $900 in fees on top. So it's like you might have like a $2,500 economy class fare, and it could be like $1,500 base fare and $1,000 in fees. So you still, you're getting good value for your points, but you still have that huge amount of surcharges, fees, and taxes on top. So that's what we have. That's what this loyalty lesson goes into. It might make maybe I'll make a whole nother video of it. I keep saying this about all my features. I think they could all make great videos because this one could go on forever. So like in the lesson, we show more examples. So there'll be a link below, of course, in the description and on our podcast page. So you can see, you can really go in depth and see what goes on with these credit card reward charts. But yeah, it shows you some examples. Some aren't bad. There were some examples where you're getting about 1 cent per point, so it's equal to their flexible travel. But a lot of the examples, these reward charts are giving you less than 1 cent per point, so it's just better to use that flexible travel option that they provide. But you're still on the hook for all those taxes and fees, which you can use your points towards as well. So be sure to check out the feature. But what we also do in the feature is show you programs that do pretty well with economy class flights for Europe. And that's like Air France KLM Flying Blue, British Airways Executive Club, and Air Canada Aeroplan. Like with Air France, you can find flights for 40,000 miles round trip. So that's, excuse me, even less than like the 65, 60,000, 70,000, those type of things you find on those credit card reward charts. And their fees are only $300 roughly, give or take a little bit. And that includes your first check bag free. All those flights that we're talking about on those reward charts, the credit card reward charts, are typically the basic economy fare. So they don't include seat selection, they don't include your first check bag, they don't include any of those things. So you're on the hook for even more money on top of that. Of course, there's variations. If you're buying that last minute, super expensive economy class ticket, chances are it's in a higher fare class, so you'll have things included. But again, you're paying a lot more for that ticket. So you have like Air France with their 40,000 miles, British Airways Executive Club with their new Reward Savers that were launched probably about a year ago with Reward Savers, 50,000 Avios round trip, and $200 in fees, and they also include your first check bag free. And then you have British Airways famous Toronto to Dublin, 26,000 Avios round trip during off-peak times, which is majority of the year is off-peak. 13,000 one way, 26,000 round trip, and just over $300 in fees and taxes, and that includes luggage. So as you can see where this is going, these programs can be a lot more value. Even on economy class, people say, well, you're only getting 1.2 cents, 1.5 cents per point. But the fact of the matter is, over 90% of Canadians redeem for economy class, and to get that value is great compared to the 1 cent or even the 0.8 cents or 0.7 cents that those reward charts were providing. So this is really good to know. And that Dublin redemption too with British Airways includes your first check bag free as well. It's on Aer Lingus, but you're booking it through British Airways or Aer Lingus, either way. And then you have Aeroplan as well. In the example I have here, which I'll show you on the screen here and is also in the feature, just over 67,000 points between Toronto and Frankfurt. It is a connecting flight and $283 in fees. Air Canada doesn't include your first check bag free though. You have to pay that as well, unless you excuse me, have elite status course, or you have like a premium or higher Air Canada Aeroplan co-brand card, which covers your first check bag free. So those are some of the examples we go into. Be sure to check out the link. It's a long feature, and maybe I'll add it to my list of videos to make here in the future. So let's continue on credit cards, and this one kind of ties into that because it's mainly for European travel, but it's not always just for European travel. I'll show you an example at the end of this. Is the new welcome bonus on the Air France KLM World Elite MasterCard. So they've brought back the 60,000 bonus flying blue miles offer on this card. So if you apply for this card by June 10th, 2024, you're going to receive 10,000 miles on your first purchase, and then another 10,000 miles when you spend $5,000 on the card in the first year of having it, and then an additional 10,000 miles for your next $10,000 of spending, so $15,000 in total spending. And then you get 30,000 miles as an anniversary bonus when your card renews. So in total, that's 60,000 miles. Like I said, you have until June 10th to apply for it. A really good bonus, very worthwhile, because if you've watched our videos, read our blog, you know that we love Flying Blue in terms of transatlantic flights in economy class and business class. Just an excellent program for Canadians. And it's funny, I just had people ask me, or a few months ago, one person asked me, and then somebody just asked me the other day, does this program make sense if you're not in one of the major centers? And it can, because, Air France KLM, they fly to 7 Canadian cities, which is great, but they don't fly to places like Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Maritimes, but they do have a partnership with WestJet. So it may be a little tougher for the Maritimes, but you can redeem the Flying Blue miles for WestJet connecting flights. It'll all be priced together as one, but I was just looking at examples right now, just before videoing this, of like Winnipeg to Amsterdam. And there's a WestJet from Winnipeg to Calgary, and then KLM from Calgary to Amsterdam. So this bonus is good for people outside of the 7 major centers that the airlines fly to because of that WestJet partnership. So the main thing is, this is being marketed as this bonus is being marketed as 2 round-trip flights to Europe by Air France KLM. And so is this true? This is going to be a question I know a lot of people are going to ask me. Is it really 2 flights to Europe? And the answer is yes, but let's put a little asterisk beside that, because that's only during the promo rewards monthly promotions, where Air France KLM Flying Blue offers 25 to 50% off their reward tickets. Most of the time it's 25% off, and it's like 25% off economy. So in that case, yes, it is true. You would get 2 complete round-trip flights. For example, right now, the April 2024 promo rewards, they have 25% off economy class between Ottawa in Europe, Turkey, or North Africa. So that means those flights are only 15,000 miles one way, because normally they're 20,000 miles at the starting point. Now, we've got to remember, Air France KLM Flying Blue is dynamic pricing, so it can go higher, but they typically have pretty good availability at their starting point. So yeah, it's supposed to start at 20,000, but you take 25% off, and you're going to have 15,000 miles, one way. So that works out 30,000 round trip, or 60,000 miles total for 2 round trip flights between Canada and Europe, or North Africa and Turkey. So that's great, but it is subject to availability. It's subject to those promo rewards. I'll put up on the screen here, there's an example of Ottawa to Rome in August, where 6 days were available at 15,000 out of Ottawa. So 6 out of 31 days. So that's, again, but that comes down to the whole premise of frequent flyer programs, and that you need to have some flexibility. It can be tough with frequent flyer programs if you have really specific dates to fly to find the lowest redemption amounts, right? Because most frequent flyer programs now are dynamic. They let you redeem for any seat at any time, but it can range from as low as 15,000 miles one way, say with Air France KLM Flying Blue, to 80,000 miles one way, or even more. It can vary. So it depends on how expensive those flights are. But I said Flying Blue's pretty good at availability at their lowest amounts. But I will also say, for those of us out west, like in Calgary, Edmonton, and Vancouver, the 2 flights to Europe with that is a little bit tougher, because we're not so lucky with the promo rewards. We don't get them as often as Ottawa, Toronto, Montreal, and Quebec City do. It's definitely favors the East, but maybe that's a good sign. Maybe that means Air France and KLM are doing good on their flights out of Vancouver, and KLM out of Calgary and Edmonton, of course, because maybe there's of course, it all comes down to availability, right? So getting 2 round-trip flights from Western Canada is a little more difficult. Of course, we've had promo rewards from out west, so if they come up, you'll get those 2 flights. But nonetheless, this is a great bonus. Granted, with that starting point of 20,000 miles, so 40,000 miles round trip for economy class out of Western Canada, you'd be looking at this bonus giving you 1.5 flights. But then also, to get the full 60,000 miles, you have to remember you're spending $15,000 on the card. And there's accelerators for dining and other accelerators because it's BRIM, so different partnerships. So you can easily rack up probably another 20,000 miles to get you to 80,000 miles for 2 round trip flights. So it's a little bit more work for those probably in Western Canada, but it's there. And then, like I said, I was going to say, it's not just for transatlantic flights. I've been finding now that looking online, just starting today, I was looking more, that they've added more and more WestJet flights to their online booking. Before, you had to call in to redeem for WestJet, but they're on there now, and I was looking. And so this bonus isn't just for flights across transatlantic. They're a SkyTeam airline, right? So you can use these miles for anywhere with SkyTeam, but other partner airlines like WestJet. So like with this 60,000 miles, you can get 4 round trip flights in economy class between Vancouver and Calgary, because those will only be 7,500 miles each way. As you'll see on the screen here, I'll put up an example of some of those flights. So all in all, a really great deal on this card. It's only the second time they've offered bonus miles on it. Normally it's just bonus XP, which is their elite status earning. Like you'll know earlier this year, it was basically you could get status for free, silver elite status for free, because it was giving you 100 XP right away. So with this bonus, you're going to earn up to 60,000 miles plus up to 60 XP in your first year with the card. And I'll also note, it was a very good question from one of our longtime readers, Jim M. Asked if you get the anniversary bonus without spending the full amount, and you do. Based on the terms and conditions, as long as your card is in good standing after 1 year, you're going to get those 30,000 mile anniversary bonus. So you could technically get this card, spend $1 on it for that first purchase, keep the card for another year, and then you're going to have 40,000 miles, which is good for one round trip flight to Europe, without having to do the $15,000 of spending. Now, if you do $5,000 of spending, you've bumped up your bonus to 50,000 miles, and of course you hit that 10,000 in the first year, or 10,000 additional, 15,000 total in the first year, and you have your 60,000 miles. So in a lot of ways, this is an amazing bonus. Even if you just want 40,000 miles for one round trip flight to Europe, you can get that for $1. $1 basically. And then your annual fees, of course. I mean, there's always the if, ands, or buts and terms and conditions and everything with these things. But on the most basic level, you can get the round trip flight to Europe for $1 spending on your card plus your taxes and fees and annual fees. So that's that card. Great bonus. Let's continue on with another new credit card bonus this week, and that's the American Express Aeroplan Card. It has a new increased bonus of 50,000 points. So this is 10,000 points more than what was previously on the card. You get 30,000 Aeroplan points after spending 3,000 in the first 3 months. So $1,000 a month, you'll get this bonus. Another really decent bonus, a much better spend requirement, because the card before required you to spend $1,000 a month for 10 months. And now you're just at $1,000 for 3 months. To get the 30,000, and then you'll get an anniversary bonus of 20,000 Aeroplan points when you spend $1,000 in the 13 month. So after you pay your annual fee after the first year, in that first month, so month 13, you need to spend $1,000. You have to remember that. You have to put a note in your phone or something to remind you, I need to spend $1,000 on this card in year 2 in the first month, so I get the full bonus. But again, the American Express Aeroplan Card is their core or premium card from American Express. This will get you your first checked bag free on Air Canada flights. It's a good one for almost entry level. But if you want a higher end card, because American Express doesn't have the income requirements of, like, say, the Visa Infinite from TD and CIBC, where those are 60,000 annual or 150,000 household. As long as your credit is good enough, American Express will, you should be approved for one of these cards from American Express, and your income could be 20,000, 30,000. You don't need to meet those amounts. Plus, it's got a little bit of a lower annual fee compared to the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite, CIBC Aeroplan Visa Infinite. So it's got a kind of its niche there, and it's a decent offer and decent card. Remember as well, with American Express, you get the Amex offers. So those are like statement credit offers or bonus points offers. They vary. I'll put a link below to our guide to Amex offers so you can see that. You get Amex experiences like front of the line. I know my girls were just excited because Chasing Summer Festival came on this week as a pre-sale with Amex offers. So they're going to that festival this summer. So there's lots that comes extra with the Amex cards as well. And continue on with credit cards. This has already been a long episode, and we're still on the credit card thing. So I'm going to try and speed it up here. You have the RBC British Airways Visa Infinite card was made better. Yes, RBC actually made one of their cards better. Yay! So what they've done is increase the earn rates on the British Airways Visa Infinite card. So now it earns 3 Avios per dollar on British Airways and BA Holidays purchases. It used to be 2. So that's a 50% increase. And they've now added an accelerator for grocery dining and food delivery of 2 Avios per dollar. So that's double what it was before, because it used to only be 1. And then all other purchases still earn 1 Avios per dollar. So this is great. This makes this card even more competitive. It is more of a niche card, but it is a decent card. This bonus has been good on it. It has the companion voucher, which can be used to take somebody else with you on a reward flight, or it can be used as 50% discount for a reward flight. It also has that 10% discount on cash or cash ticket purchases with British Airways, and that's 10% on the entire airline ticket, so including taxes and fees. So if it's a $1,500 airline ticket with British Airways, including all your tax fees, you'll get $150 off. So it's a very, like I said, it's a niche. It's for British Airways flyers, but it's just, this card's been made better. It's a decent card and has been made more decent, I'll say it that way. And right now you can earn up to 60,000 bonus Avios with it, 15,000 on approval, 35,000 when you spend 6,000 in the first 3 months. So this is a little bit of a higher spend, and then 10,000 as an anniversary bonus. And let's continue on. I'm gonna try and speed it up here. I'll close out credit cards with RBC again. Just letting you guys know that the 55,000 bonus point offer on the RBC Visa Infinite card is coming to a close very soon. It ends on April 30th and it is not being extended. You get 35,000 points on approval, 20,000 when you spend 5,000 for 6 months. So that's a nice low spend. I mean, 5,000 seems high, but it's over 6 months. So it's less than $1,000 a month to get that bonus. That bonus, 55,000 points, that's 4 economy class flights to a neighboring province or state or within your same province. 1 economy class flight anywhere in North America with points left over. $600 credit. This is after spending. $600 credit to any travel booked via Avion Rewards. 600 WestJet dollars. 2 economy class tickets between Toronto and Dublin. We've been talking about that famous one earlier in this episode, and it always comes up, that 26,000 Avios. So that's only 52,000 Avion reward points can be converted to 52,000 Avios to get you 2 economy class tickets between Toronto and Dublin. And that's not taking into account the 30% bonus, which should be coming up. It's usually around May, so that should be coming up soon, the 50 or 30% bonus from RBC to British Airways. And finally, that 60,000 points in general, or I guess 55,000 bonus plus 45,000 for spending is enough for an economy class ticket between Vancouver and Hong Kong on Cathay Pacific, because that's only 54,000 Asia miles round trip. So be sure, if you've been considering, I have a hard time recommending this card as a daily driver or for everyday spending because it's got such low earn rates and high redemption rates. It's not high redemption rates, it's just those really low earn rates compared to everybody else. But it is a card, if you want a strong, hard-hitting bonus right up front to get a lot of value right up front, this is the one to go for. But then afterwards you want to look for something else, or get yourself the Ion Plus card from RBC, because it earns more per dollar than the Avion card, but by having both you can transfer your Ion Plus points from Avion Premier to Avion Elite, which is your Visa Infinite card, and then you'll get more value. Still not as much value as, say, MBNA or Amex Cobalt or something like that, but it's better for Avion Rewards. So that's it for credit cards. So let's move on to travel and loyalty. Hopefully I'm not going too fast now for you guys, but I want to keep this episode relatively short enough. But like I said, it's going to be longer. So I'm blabbing. Let's go on. So first thing in loyalty rewards is, speaking of Avion and RBC, is there's now a bonus for joining Avion Select. You'll receive a $10 bonus when you join via the link. So I'll put the link to our blog post below, and then you can find the link in there. It kind of details more. You can figure out what's going on. And so once you join Avion Select off their special page, it can't be right from their front page because I don't think they have the offer there. And you link a payment card from another institution or cards. So I've talked about this before. Avion Select works like Air Miles card linked offers, where you can link cards from other institutions. So I have my Amex cards linked to Avion Select. Once you do that, if you join and do this by June 15th, you'll get a $10 bonus. So $10 free right there just for doing so. And then, once your account hits $15, you can cash out by e-transfer or something like that. So you'll have to earn a little bit of cash back using the card linked offers or their online shopping portal, you name it. There's different ways to earn cash back with Avion Select. Just a quick overview, Avion Select is the newest tier in Avion Rewards program that launched in 2023. It allows any Canadian to join the program. You don't have to be an RBC client. So it's the entry-level tier, but it's the one that RBC has said is going, or they haven't said specifically, but they say they want it to be the loyalty program for Canadians. So this is their challenge to Air Miles. This is their challenge to Scene Plus. This is their challenger for all these things. So I'm really curious to see what else is going to happen with this program in the coming future, because they have, I think the huge thing is this card linked offers. We've talked about it before. I mean, 5 times points on your Cobalt card and then earning the cash back through Avion Select or the points through Avion Select. I mean, you can't go wrong there for sure. So so basically, the program allows you to earn cash back. It allows you to earn Avion Rewards points for shopping online or user linked payment cards. I guess this offer is actually based on the terms and conditions, been around since January, but I only became aware of it this week as I got an email, a general email to my personal email, not like an RBC saying, hey, Rewards Canada, this is what's happening. This was just to my personal email with this offer. And I was like, So when I saw this offer, it's like $10 now. Come on, I joined back when there was no bonus. So I mean, that's the whole points and miles game for you. Sometimes you can really score good bonuses, and sometimes you have to miss out. The email itself, it surprised me because I'm already a member. I'm an Avion Select member in Avion Rewards. So I'm surprised they sent me an email telling me that there was a $10 bonus. But from what we can tell, RBC is now going full bore promoting Avion Select, of course, with this welcome bonus. Like I said, I joined when there wasn't a bonus, but this was like, was it summer of last year when they launched it? I joined the program because of course I need to find out what are these programs, what's going on with them. So no luck for me. But if you haven't joined Avion Select yet and you're not an RBC client, because that's another term and condition, if you're an RBC client, you can join Avion Select, but you won't get the bonus. So this is strictly for non-RBC Canadians who haven't joined Avion Select. You can get $10 for joining the program by June 15th. Link below in the description for more details. So continue on, travel loyalty. New bonus offer from Accor ALL Limitless. You can earn 4 times all rewards points for stays at Fairmont Hotels in Canada and the rest of the Americas. Great big bonus. Register and book by May 15th for stays from May 1st to June 30th. So it's kind of a spring and first week of summer bonus. Like I said, you register for it prior to booking and completing your stays. With this bonus, that means you're going to earn 100 points per 10 euros with this offer, because it's normally the base earn rate's 25 points per 10 euros, and then you earn any extra points if you have all elite status. Considering that average nightly rates at Fairmont Hotels are quite high to very high, this is a very lucrative bonus at 4 times. Every 2,000 all rewards points are equal to 40 euros towards a future stay. So if you have a $600 per night stay at the Fairmont Banff Springs, and 600 is low for the Fairmont Banff Springs, you're looking at is roughly about $115 Canadian return in points. So this is an amazing bonus for Fairmont stays. So if you have Fairmont stays planned between May 1st to June 30th, be sure to register for the offer and then book your stays. And thank you to anybody who does book their Fairmont stays through us. We are partnered with them. We do earn a little bit of commission on those, so thank you in advance for anybody who does choose to do so. And then we have another hotel bonus. Hilton Honors revealed their summer promotion, and they're offering 2 times Hilton Honors points on all stays in Canada and worldwide. Another, just like this last bonus, a very lucrative one. Sure, 2 times isn't as big as 4 times, but for Hilton to offer this over summer, this is big because summer is usually busy, but to offer not a flat rate bonus like 1,000 bonus points per night, to offer double points is great, because if you have a long stay, an expensive stay, you can rack up those Hilton Honors points a lot faster. Right now, registration's open and you can book your stays. The stays are actually from May 2nd to September 2nd. They still have their other promotion running till May 1st. So you can register and book. And again, booking Hilton through us, you're booking direct with them, but you're helping support Rewards Canada. So thank you to everybody who does so. Links below to these to all these offers. And I think that's it. That's a wrap for this week. This is a longer episode already. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to check out the site on a daily basis, because we had a couple offers this week which were just that day. Like Canadian Tire had their big bonus on the Thursday. What was that? April 18th, 1 day only. There was a Shell Air Miles offer, which actually I think runs for 1 or 2 more days from the day I'm recording this. But be sure to, if you can, check our socials website on a daily basis, because there are a lot of these limited time offers which we will not cover here in the video, and we do not usually cover in our weekly newsletters, which are Friday and Saturday. But always you can subscribe to those as well, because they give you a roundup of everything else that we have, because the video we also don't cover everything, because otherwise I'd be here for like 2 hours describing everything we've covered on the site each and every week. So every single item's not in this video. So if you're not subscribed to our newsletters, please do so. You'll find a link below. You'll also find links to our socials in the description. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.